Hello there, my name is Soul, and this is my favorite channel on the Citadel. And if you have not subscribed to this channel and you are a fan of Mass Effect, then do yourself a favor, subscribe, because we're gonna be talking about this game a lot once it comes out. Let me tell you. So one of my most favorite recent memories was waking up in a haze November 7th, looking at my phone, and then being greeted with a trailer for the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Not like Mass Effect N7 Trilogy, not Mass Effect Legendary Trilogy. There is no trilogy, it's just Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Fuck you. And just those few little character models we got, just the title, just the little word essay thing that Casey Hudson put out tells us a lot about this game, this trilogy, and I personally believe that they are going to change the ending to Mass Effect 3, and I'll tell you why at the end of this video, but I want to talk about each game and what this remaster remake means for each game. And they're not really describing this game as a remaster or a remake, and I think the main reason for that is because it is kind of a case-by-case scenario for each game. So what I want to talk about in this video is my speculation for what's going to happen and tell you an idea of what you can expect and kind of get your theory brain poking around, you know, YouTube content. I personally knew that this game was going to get announced. A lot of people knew that this game was going to be announced before it actually did. Mass Effect 1 was like the one game where they're like, is this part of the trilogy? Mass Effect 1 is old. Mass Effect 1 is dated. It was kind of really good when it came out though. And then, like, by the time Mass Effect 2 came out, I was like, this is aging really fast. By the time Mass Effect 3 came out, we're like, damn, that shit was garbage. And now here we are, like, almost a decade later, and we're like, god damn it, that shit's unplayable. And that's a shame, because it does have a great story. I think it's a very solid military sci-fi drama. And if you watch cutscenes from that game, it's kind of stilted. And a big reason for that is the original Mass Effect doesn't have, like, detailed facial animations. It doesn't have all these things that make stories come to life in games nowadays. And now they have that technology. So whereas back then, you know, it almost felt like the voice actors were trying to, you know, hold back and kind of be more formal military style, all for the sake of, you know, making these characters not animate too much, because you don't want them to not feel natural. They're not moving their face that much, so their voice doesn't sound that animated. So there's a lot of things that they could do with a Mass Effect remake slash remaster. One version of it literally could just be an upscaled Mass Effect. Boom, $60 please. Or they could completely remake the entire game. They could even revoice it. They could redo a lot of things. Personally, what I think they're going to do is they're going to redesign Shepard, redesign these characters, and only do it once. I think the exact same character, the exact same model that you are playing in your first Mass Effect is going to carry for the next two games. I think that's why they're marketing it as just Mass Effect. It's all one big thing. It's not going to be like, okay, here's Mass Effect 1, then you kind of got to remix things up for 2 and then 3. It's going to feel like Mass Effect 2 and 3. They're going to completely overdesign, overhaul the entire gameplay from Mass Effect 1, because let's be honest, the gameplay from Mass Effect 1 is ass. I know some people love the Mako. I do think the Mako is gonna return, but the combat, like a lot of the menus, I think those are all gonna get overhauled. And if you look at Casey Hudson's statement about this whole thing, he goes into detail saying that, like, he uses words like reimagine rather than remaster. I'm pretty sure the first game is going to be a much different game, whereas the next two, not so much. And personally, I think that's the best thing that could happen for the first Mass Effect. It's a great game, and I know you get a lot of old school RPG vibes just from that basic form of combat, but this game has potential, and that potential was realized in Mass Effect 2. But the first game has a great story, and if it just looked a little bit better, if the gameplay flowed a little bit better, then it would be an amazing game, and I think we're finally gonna get that amazing game. Oh, and I don't think I'll have to sit in a single elevator ever again, and if I do, Mass Effect 2 though, oh boy, my favorite game, and they're redoing it. I honestly don't know how to feel. I think it's just gonna look like a Mass Effect 2 with really nice mods, and it's probably like run animations and certain things like that that are gonna feel more like Mass Effect 3. Again, they're probably gonna take the exact same style of play, the exact same gameplay, and just transfer it over. So you might have a couple new moves here and there. You might have a couple like story bits, little Easter eggs that they might throw in there. But other than that, I think the main gameplay of Mass Effect 2 is going to be the same. And I'm still 100% psyched to see it. And I still have not played the DLC for this game. I can't tell you how excited I am to play this game. But I don't want them to just upscale the graphics and call it a day. Give us some new skins. Give us new Easter eggs. Add a little something something for the people who have dedicated themselves to this game. For God's sakes, give us something. And let's talk about Mass Effect 3. Let's be honest, this game, graphics wise, will probably look about the same, but I do think that there is going to be some glaring holes that they're going to have to fix. First off, there's going to be no online. Personally, I never was able to play Mass Effect Online. I didn't have, my Xbox connected to the internet back then, but they aren't doing it this time around, so I want to have an opportunity either way. That's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. That being said, though, the online was incorporated to the points you got at the end of the game, your war points. So now they absolutely have to kind of redesign that system at least a little bit. Not only that, but again, you have all the DLC. I know a lot of people, maybe they stopped at Leviathan, but I know a lot of people didn't play the Citadel DLC. They didn't play all these different DLCs. I unfortunately couldn't, and I just watched the cutscenes, but now I'm going to be able to finally play them. And yeah, the DLCs I'm very excited for. And I think Mass Effect 3, even more than 2, had a lot of reward for long-term players. There's a lot of really cool moments with Rex and characters that very well just could have died in the first game, for God's sakes. But if you've traveled from game to game with these characters, they're giving you these really big moments. There are moments in this game that a lot of people never played, and now that they're kind of finally being able to play all three again, this is a huge opportunity for gamers to really see what these games had. And let's talk about probably what you clicked onto this video for, the endings of Mass Effect 3. I personally think that yes, they are going to change the endings, and I'll tell you why. Back when these games came out, the Mass Effect 3 endings were hated. They were shit on. There was protests, there was petitions, any kind of backlash you could have got, they got. And it was kind of hard to justify shitting on them because they followed such a great game. Mass Effect 3 is an amazing game, but the endings are really bad. And they kind of make the rest of the entire franchise feel a little less because all that work, all those choices you made doesn't lead up to much. And even after the extended cut, I think the extended cut was great. It obviously will be a part of this experience. It won't be a separate DLC. But it still left a lot of people very unhappy. However, as a lot of people know, one of the endings shows Shepard after the Reapers are destroyed. In the Destroy ending, a heartbeat rises from beneath a gravelly, destroyed Earth. And that ending does have a lot of other ramifications, such as a lot of technology. Geth, for instance, are destroyed in that ending, which kind of fucking sucks. But I think that they are actually going to have a canon ending, and it's probably going to be this one. Again, I recommend you read the statement that Casey Hudson put out, but they basically said, we're working on Mass Effect 4. We're working on a new Mass Effect game, at least. And a lot of people didn't like Andromeda. I think Andromeda would be a terrible business choice if they decided to make a sequel for that. So you have maybe two options: start from scratch, go further in the universe, pull something out of your ass, or you make a sequel to the shit people cared about. However, if you played the Mass Effect 3 endings, you know that that is almost impossible. The endings are wildly different. They are not wildly different in terms of like content, but the outcomes drastically change. You either are some kind of Reaper god creature that like is forming the universe back together, or you are some kind of synthetic life form that is spread across all artificial and human life. It doesn't make a lot of room for interpretation on where the story is going to go from there. However, with the Destroy ending, we know that Shepard was alive, or you could also go the indoctrination route. There are ways to keep the story going forward. And no, I don't think there is going to be any new gameplay whatsoever. I think we are going to get a couple of new cutscenes, maybe a couple choices along the way that will encourage the new scenes, and that's gonna be it. I think in probably maybe the cheapest way possible, they are going to set up for a new Mass Effect game, and I personally hope that they retcon a lot of things. If they went the indoctrination theory route, not a lot of people would be upset. And I don't think we need Commander Shepard. Commander Shepard could still die. I just want new Mass Effect content. And Andromeda was a game with a lot of potential. There was a lot of things I really like about Andromeda, but it's not where I want to see the franchise move forward. I want to come back to the roots. I want to come back to the characters I actually really love and have been with for my entire life. And the best way possible to do that is pick an ending. Are all the Geth gonna die? Is all synthetic life gonna be wiped out? Again, it's hard to say. We don't really know. But I think that is one of the better potential ideas of what the team at BioWare are going to do. But those are just my thoughts. Please let me know yours down in the comments below. Again, I'm going to be talking about a lot about this game when it comes out. So if you are a fan of Mass Effect, now is the time to subscribe. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I have a lot of other gaming content on this channel if you are interested. Thank you so much again. And with that, I leave you.